Okay. Okay. So this last part, you can do it seated or standing. Right? And oh, lost my girlfriend already. Okay, she's gone. So the silk reeling, oh, excuse me. So the silk reeling is a concept. If you've ever seen the silkworm cocoon, right? And they have to pull out that whole thread. So they soak it in water, and I don't know how the heck they do it. They find the end, the end of that thread, and they just loop it through. And there's a machine that winds it, and the cocoon is just bobbing, right, while they're pulling it out. And same thing, like if you've ever gone fishing, and you know, if you throw out the line, right? If there's too much slack and the timing is off, we call it fishnet, right? The whole reel goes whoomp. In Hilo years ago, my friend tried to teach me how to throw an ulua pole, and I just gave up, because as soon as we did it in the park, but as soon as the sinker hit the ground, right, that whole back pressure, the spool kept going, and boom, right? Too much slack, but there's still movement. So in silk reeling, it's the concept where you're pulling that silk thread. A single silk thread is strong by itself, but in the big picture, right, you can easily snap a single thread. You put 1,000 of them together, then you have a nice strong cord. But you want to gently pull that silk thread, right? You have to be totally relaxed, and you're just trying to pull the slack out of it. And just where you feel the thread starting to stretch, right there, you can just feel that little bit of elasticity, and you don't want to pull more than that. If you're static and you hold it, well, maybe you can just hold it there. But as you're moving around, right, your joints start moving, so you tend to stretch it a little bit more, which means you have to relax to maintain that even feeling, right? Or your palms might come together, so you create this slack. So you have to pull it open to maintain that feeling. So in silk reeling exercise, we're trying to maintain that constant feeling of just pulling that slack out, just having that little elasticity, but as relaxed as possible, and not letting it be loose. Okay? At the same time, you have to know what is fully relaxed. So there are times when we do the movement and you just have to totally let go and be like rag doll, that kind of feeling. Okay? And then there's times where you just tense and let go. So you know if you're fully relaxed or you have tension. Okay? But that's the silk reeling exercise. So I bring the silk reeling exercise into the form. In the standing form, the movement is actually coming forward and turning like this, but in the seated, I go side to side. Okay, and I think it fits well for seated. Okay, so shoulders down, elbows down, right? Arms heavy, and as the hands pass each other, right over here, they'll turn, and then you have to drop them into place, right? And you have to turn the waist. So the basic movement is turning the waist at least 45 degrees while the palms sweep from fingertip at least through the elbow, and it comes under and it's washing. So your whole body, from your shoulder blades, the waist, the knees, the feet, there's this light expansion that you're trying to maintain while you turn and while you shift. So letting the palm wash through the forearms. And there's a lot of what we call medical Qigong in this movement. Right? It's not purely physical, but you want the center of the palm washing through the center of the forearm. And By doing that, this becomes a 5-element Qigong. Okay? Just by doing the silk reeling, there's a 5-element Qigong in there. Okay? There's a little dance, right? It lifts and it drops into place. And I'm turning my waist and it's dropping into place. Okay? And as you do this, right, there's a change of tension. So the silk reeling is trying to maintain that even tension. Now to turn all the way, I want to release that back leg. So now I'm starting to shift my weight as I turn, letting the back leg follow. And I want to transfer all my weight. So I actually lift it off the ground to force me to transfer it. Put it straight down. I don't need to reach. And just put it straight down and then turn my waist. Shift to the other side. I'm letting my feet turn, right? Lift, feel myself transfer all my weight, and then step. Right here, there's a circle and a spiral. A sink. There's a little lift here, and then sink. But when I lift, it's not lifting my body necessarily. Right? It's just that circle rising and spiraling. You take your time, make sure all your weight sinks and transfers, and then do it. And like I said, you can do this seated or standing. Even in a chair, you can still shift your weight. So this first movement is called shooting palms. And what I like to do is I like to vibrate my palm, right? Vibrate my fingers. Right? That helps to loosen up the joints, the ligaments, the tendons, but it's also very energetic at the same time. Okay? If you can't turn all the way, just turn as much as you can, relaxing. If I'm doing standing, what I really want to do is I want to turn a full 180 degrees. So as I come this way, I'm going to face all the way here. My arms will come to the side, so it's actually coming behind. And as I turn, right, I'm going to turn all the way to you, center, and I let my arms sweep to the side. Turn, drop into place, and then turn my waist. So this is a perfect example of that prior discussion we're having about seated versus standing, and it really isn't seated versus standing. It's just different ends of a spectrum of training, of development. Right? So seated will allow you to do certain things. Standing will allow you to do certain things. Right? If I'm seated, obviously we cannot turn quite this much. Right? Yeah. When I vibrate my arms, I want my whole arm to vibrate and shake and loosen. Yeah. And this movement right here, I tell the students, this always reminds me of hula right here. This turn right here reminds me of hula. And in my own studies, I really believe, if you study the history, right, there is a connection, right, of the Chinese culture, the early Chinese culture with the Hawaiians, because the Polynesians came through the Asiatic continent, so they brought with them at that time whatever was being studied on the Asiatic continent, Persia, Tibet, China, right, whatever it passed through. And being immigrants, they really hung on to that knowledge. Okay? So you want the hands to sweep, right, to wash. Think of this palm, right, washing, back and forth, washing and flushing. Right? The shoulders have to be relaxed, the shoulders have to roll, the shoulder joints have to move. The elbows, wrists have to be relaxed. You don't want to do it high in the beginning. Do it low where the hands are sinking. Okay? And if you don't have this handout, remind me, I'll send out the handout. But from the tip of the finger to to the center of the palm, the center of the wrist, center of the forearm, and center of the inside of the elbow are points that correspond with the organs and the elements, and that's why it's five element Qigong to do it. But this line here in medical Qigong, the acupuncture in Chinese medicine, this is called the pericardium line. Pericardium speaks about the heart, right? So it goes right through. The outside, from the fourth finger on the outside, is what they call the triple burner. The triple burner comes up, around, and then it joins through the collarbone, and it joins with the pericardium. So by flushing the inside, we're affecting the heart. You want the heart to be open and relaxed, smiling Qigong in there, but you're actually flushing the whole body, and you want that little stretch. So if there's too much slack, the qi cannot move, the tendons and ligaments are not stretched. But if they're stretched, then you're affecting this whole pericardium channel, right? So it's open. It's like opening up that tube, opening up that freeway, that highway, and then you're washing the qi back and forth through it. So you're flushing, and it's just the intent of knowing that you're affecting all the organs. You don't have to know where the spot is, but just feel like, oh, I'm just washing my heart, I'm washing my kidney, I'm washing my liver, I'm washing the spleen, the intestines. As long as I relax and let go, the whole body's being affected, okay? So that's the first part, right? And just relaxing, right? And just letting it flow. If you need to have that ragdoll feeling in your joints, go ahead and have that ragdoll feeling in your joints. Right? And it can come all the way up through the shoulder joint and scooping underneath the forearm, or it can just round at the elbow. Right? Yeah, don't worry too much about it. From there. And then we want to get the outside of the arm, right? Because like I said, the triple burner. So come join us, sweetie. Yeah, so just stay behind here. Stay behind, practice with us, okay? So the outside of the arm, we need to flush the outside. So this starts by going up and down. Right? So the center of the palm is your heart, right? Flushing from the elbow on the outside. And then as it falls, right, it passes the other side, and it goes back and forth. And then what you want to do is the same thing. You want to turn your waist and turn your waist, and the hands go right up in the center, rising and falling. And this starts to introduce more of the spiraling movement and the spiraling energy. It has that washing effect, right? Inside and outside. The fingertips are lightly stretched, lightly pulling. It's still circling. The shoulders should be sunken and relaxed the whole time. Okay. So just washing. Okay. And then this movement, we extend it so it rises, and you can see it curving a little bit. So follow the head. It can go over the head, but just the forehead is enough for us, right? So you'll rise, and then it's like you're carrying something, and turn to the side. As you turn to the side, rotate both palms out. So it's going to rise, you're going to turn, drop your shoulder, rotate both palms out, elbows down, and drop both palms. It's like you're gently tapping something. Okay? And then bring it back into place and come back to center. And then rise, turn the other way. The palms start rotating out and dropping. Right? Drop your shoulder, relax, and come back to center. Okay? So turn the waist while you're rising and carrying. Turn and rotate and drop. And when you drop, vibrate your palms like you're sending something out. And then collect, come back to center, wash the outside, turn, and drop. Okay. So this is just the palm and turning. So if you're standing, we want to involve the legs more than just turning. So we'll add the step. And so the stepping, you really have to go slow, be centered. Right? If you're worried about falling, again, have your props. But basically, you're going to pick up the one leg and turn, right? And step down. And then pick up the leg, step down, come up the other way and turn and step down. Be careful with your knees. You don't let your knees torque and twist. So just turn to what's comfortable. Okay? So my right hand and my right leg will rise. We'll step together. Turn, step down, and palm. And come back. Pick up my right leg. Come back to center. And switch to the left. So my left leg, left hand, turn, and palm. Relaxing my knees. Right? Not turning too much. You have to listen to your body, to what's comfortable for you. As you do this, relax your shoulders, relax your elbows. Take your time, watch your palm. So just watch your rising palm. Look straight, exhaling, breathing in and out. When you come down, let everything go. Straight up, turning, the leg turns with you. Exhale. Let all this tension go. Let it flow and flush out through your palms and your fingertips. And then come back. As you get used to the movement, start to feel the heat of the palm, right? Washing the outside of the forearm and then the inside. Let everything go. Okay, so remember sticking with our safety protocols, even though we're kind of out of the Taichi for health mode. Right? You do what's comfortable, listen to your body. Right? Don't make the movements too big. Right? Make them comfortable and safe for you. Right? But everybody knows their own comfortable range of motion. And breathe. Right? So breathing in, rising and exhaling. Breathing in, rising and exhaling. So I'm going to turn to the side so that when I face you, you can kind of see how my hands turn. It doesn't have to look like mine, right? But the main thing is dropping it down. Letting everything go. Drop your elbow. Drop. There. So everything's rotating. Relaxing. Relaxing, but holding that thread, especially when you're rising and coming out, it relaxes a little bit and you're gathering that thread up, looking for that tension. So now this kind of movement with the silk wheeling, you're playing with the tension a little bit more, right? Where it starts to pull a little bit, relax a little bit. Relax the belly, relax all the joints so you can turn. Give yourself time to finish your breath, finish your movement. Make those small little corrections in your knees, in your shoulders, in your alignment. You do one move perfectly, right? Because you're thinking and everything lines up. That's more valuable than doing 20 moves mindlessly. Yeah, you get a good sweat, but that's about it. And next time you're just doing the same thing over and over again. But if you're thinking and feeling and making those little corrections, wow, the amount of benefit you get is immense. Yeah. So as your palms come up, there's a drilling effect, right? And it can be small, but it turns and rotates. Right? If you can see it from here, it turns and rotates. So come. So yeah. So I'm going to have her hold my hands just to emphasize what it's doing, right? So I'm turning, yeah, grab hard, lock. Right? So you can see the twisting. So it feels like something's wrapping, or I'm wrapping, right? Like if I put my mind on one of my fingertips, I'm drilling and rising from there, yeah? And because she's connected to me, she's going to stick and wrap around my arm, right? Yeah, from there. So I can also have a little bit of rise and a little bit of fall, right? From there. So on the bottom it's coming, and on the bottom I can have that turn. So you can, yeah, relax here. So just grabbing on here, see connected, but relax all of this, right? So you can see it, I'm turning and I'm scooping. My elbow drops here, hold on tight here, but relax your shoulder. And then I'm rising and here, right? So yeah, and let go, thank you. So what she's doing is, because she's connected, she's just trying to emphasize, you can see what's happening. So when you come up, imagine something dragging, right, and wrapping. You're wrapping something around your arm, and then you're unwinding it, right, letting it go. And then you're scooping it, right, you're kind of scooping it on the bottom. Oh, like you have that 5-gallon barrel of ice cream and nobody's watching you, and you're just gonna scoop out a nice palm full of ice cream, right? And you're gonna eat it while nobody's watching you. And then you're gonna put that cover back on nicely, right? And nobody sees them. But you know somebody saw you, was probably the 4-year-old. And then they're gonna blackmail you. Hey, Gong, I can do that too, right? If I don't tell anybody that you did it. So there's a lot of turning and rotating on the bottom. I don't know if you can kind of see it, right? Turning and rotating at the same time, that twisting, right? So scooping and twisting, right? And the elbow is down, and then turning and rotating. So the other part is, you can feel it right in the center of your palm will rotate, right? So if I put one finger right in the center and I rotate my palm, it's that kind of feeling. Yeah, it's just rotating right around the center. If this turns, it's still rotating right around here. And if you keep your ring finger stretched, especially the ring finger, you'll feel that stretch pulling right through the center, right? While you're lifting and going. Okay, so rising, turning, and down, coming back. Just taking your time. You're picking your knee straight up, relaxing your hips, relaxing your joints, letting everything go, and then coming back. Keeping your spine aligned and straight but relaxed. Joints open, expanded, but relaxed. So it really starts to look like a dance, right? And coming up and turning, right? And turning, and you have all these kind of movements coming out, allowing those spirals to come out of your waist, right? Don't control them. Just relax. And just let your joints expand, right? And let go. Okay? So those two movements, right? Side to side, sweeping, flushing, pericardium channel, relaxing the shoulders, stepping, transferring the weight, Head suspended from above. Can you feel that ribbon dance? Right? The ribbon aerobics or the ribbon gymnastics. Right? That kind of movement, right? Right here is twirling, there's a little whip. Then leading with your body, everything follows. Yeah. Vibrating your palm. You can come all the way up through your shoulder if you want, and let the hand shoot down. All the way through your shoulder, let the hand shoot down. Yeah. Be careful you're not overextending your body, you're not leaning too much, you're just rotating. Right? Top of the head up. Yeah. Yeah, you should never feel like you're leaning and fighting for your balance. Yeah. And there. Yeah. And then once you get it, you can play with the speed. You can do it really slow, or you can speed it up. Okay. Okay. And then coming to the second move, just come to the center and just kind of reset and rising. Right? It can be a small foot movement at first, whatever is comfortable. And you're just getting that step. So even in the chair, you could step in place, right? You could just pick up your heel and step as you turn. It doesn't have to go all the way to the side. If you're flexible, right, you could pick up and you could have a big turn and you could get all the way to the side. Or if you're really much more flexible than me, you could pick up and actually turn to the back. But you have to be careful you're not torquing your knees. Right? So only turn as much as you can control your knees. Right? You don't want your knees to hurt during these motions. And if you want, you can just flush up and down, right? I can just step up and down, just walking into place. I don't need to finish that movement. Just focusing on my breathing, the turning of my waist, and washing my arms. Yeah, from there. Okay. Yeah. So I think this is recorded, so hopefully I'll get it on there. You can, oh, look, I have extra hands. Bon, move your hands out. Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, I'm so distractible. What am I, 4? 3.5. She said I'm 3.5. Okay. So those are from silk reeling movements. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's recording, so I'll get this up. And the nice thing on YouTube is if you look on YouTube, I think from the computer and the tablets and phones, look for the little setting icon. You might have to experiment with it, and you can change the speed of what you're watching. Yeah, so you can slow it down, you can pause it, and out there. And I'll put this out as public, so you can just share it. So yeah, you can just share it out there. Okay, all right. So seated or standing, let's finish. Yeah, it's warm down. Yeah. So let's start with, if you're standing, feet together, knees gently touching. That's going to help to open up all the channels, or a lot of channels. And one of the things that's not pointed out is when you do the Taichi, and I began to talk about this earlier and I kind of got distracted, but the Taichi is not the form. The Taichi is what you're doing, what you're trying to achieve while you're doing the form. So holding yourself in these principles all day long, that's the Taichi. Right? But doing the form, one of the things that the form is supposed to do is flush all the meridians, move the chi through all the meridians. So just by doing the form, it is a health practice. Okay, relax. Open your feet a little. Okay, bring your palms together gently. Let your thumb just rest lightly against your sternum. Bend your knees, look straight forward and lightly close your eyes. Breathe from high above you. Let that air sink all the way down below your belly button, deep into your body while your legs are heavy and relaxed. And let the air come out of your mouth. So circulating the chi, flushing your body. Just gently breathing, body aligned. And as you listen to the bell, just feel that vibration going through your body. Loosen up your joints. Relax the bottom of your feet. Relax your belly. Relax your pelvic. All the joints a little bent. Okay, slowly open your eyes, rub your hands together. If you're walking, kick your legs up and down, loosen up all your joints. Even if you're seated, move your feet, move your ankles, yeah. Move everything around. If you want to do that little stretch for your piriformis, yeah, now's a really good time to do it. Just crossing the legs, supporting and gently pulling that over, just wedging that joint open. Right, if you want to stretch the back, then you add that turn. But this is just for this area right here. And same thing, I can just gently hold this, and while I'm stretching, I can do light pounding to loosen that up. And you want to do two sides. But I don't want to be muscling that. I just want to just gentle. Yeah. Just gentle stretching. Use your own hand, just squeeze and pull upwards. And just holding, relax your shoulders. Yeah. Yeah. If you wear too tight pants, yeah, sometimes not easy to massage. Yeah. Did it stop? Oh. I don't know if I'm still recording or stopping. Let me stop this.